Tonight on Capital Beacon Us, rising military activity near Cuba is drawing major international attention. Reports based on flight tracking data suggest that several US military aircraft, including surveillance jets and reconnaissance drones, were recently detected operating close to Cuban airspace. The unusual movement has quickly sparked speculation online, with many people questioning whether tensions between Washington and Havana are once again beginning to rise. While US officials have not announced any emergency situation, the presence of these aircraft has already become one of the most discussed geopolitical developments of the week. The aircraft reportedly included advanced reconnaissance planes designed for intelligence-gathering missions. These military systems are capable of monitoring radar signals, tracking communications, and observing strategic movement from long distances. Experts explain that such aircraft are commonly used during periods of uncertainty, when governments want to closely monitor nearby regions without directly engaging in conflict. Flight tracking enthusiasts online noticed repeated patterns of activity over the Caribbean, especially around areas near Cuba, leading many observers to believe the operations were highly coordinated and carefully planned by US defense authorities. Cuba's geographic position has always made it strategically important for the United States. Located only about 90 miles from Florida, the island has historically played a central role in American national security discussions. During the Cold War, Cuba became one of the world's most sensitive geopolitical flashpoints, especially during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. That crisis pushed the world dangerously close to nuclear war after Soviet missiles were discovered on the island. Even decades later, military activity near Cuba still attracts immediate global attention because of that historical legacy and the fear of renewed tensions. Some analysts believe the latest surveillance flights may be connected to broader international concerns involving Russia and China. Over the past few years, reports have suggested increasing cooperation between Cuba and foreign powers in areas related to communications and intelligence technology. Although there is no official confirmation of any new military installations, speculation has continued to grow across defense communities online. Experts warn that not every reconnaissance mission signals an immediate threat, but they also note that governments rarely conduct repeated surveillance operations without a strategic reason connected to regional security or intelligence gathering priorities. Military experts say reconnaissance flights are often intended to gather information rather than provoke confrontation. These missions allow governments to observe military readiness, electronic communications, and maritime movement while remaining in international airspace. Similar operations are regularly conducted near Eastern Europe, the South China Sea, and other politically sensitive regions. However, because of Cuba's history with the United States, even routine surveillance activity can quickly create headlines and fuel speculation across social media. Many users online began comparing the latest aircraft movements to Cold War-era operations, increasing public curiosity about what may actually be happening behind the scenes. The Cuban government has not released major public statements regarding the reported flights, but observers say Havana is likely monitoring the situation closely. Cuban authorities have historically criticized US military operations near the island, arguing that such activities increase regional tension and threaten stability. Meanwhile, American defense officials continue to emphasize the importance of maintaining awareness across the Caribbean region. Analysts believe the United States wants to ensure that no unexpected military or intelligence developments occur close to its borders, especially during a time of growing competition between major, global powers. Open-source intelligence communities, often called OSINT groups, played a major role in spreading awareness about the flights. Using publicly available tracking systems, aviation enthusiasts monitored aircraft paths, call signs, and operational patterns in real time. Screenshots and maps quickly spread across platforms like X and Reddit, leading thousands of users to discuss possible explanations behind the missions. Some believed the activity was connected to intelligence gathering. Large distances. Some reconnaissance aircraft can remain airborne for many hours while collecting information from multiple regions at the same time. Defense analysts say these missions are carefully coordinated with naval operations, satellite intelligence, and communication networks to create a broader picture of regional activity. That level of technology naturally increases public curiosity whenever such aircraft appear near politically sensitive locations. International reactions have been relatively cautious so far. Most governments have avoided making strong public statements about the reported operations, likely because no direct confrontation has occurred. However, geopolitical experts say the incident highlights how quickly military activity near Cuba can attract worldwide attention. The Caribbean may appear calm compared to other global hotspots, but its strategic location continues to make it important in international defense planning. Experts also point out that intelligence operations are becoming increasingly visible because modern flight tracking technology allows ordinary people to monitor aircraft movements almost instantly from their own devices. For many viewers, the situation also raises larger questions about global stability in 2026. Around the world, tensions involving major powers have increased in regions such as Eastern Europe, the Pacific, and the Middle East. In that environment, even limited reconnaissance missions can trigger speculation about possible future conflicts. Analysts caution against jumping to dramatic conclusions, emphasizing that surveillance activity alone does not necessarily indicate preparations for war. Still, they admit that governments often increase intelligence gathering during periods of uncertainty, especially when monitoring strategic rivals or regions connected to national security concerns. As more information becomes available, analysts will continue watching whether the number of reconnaissance flights near Cuba increases or returns to normal levels. Aviation trackers and defense observers are expected to closely monitor future aircraft movement across the Caribbean over the coming days. For now, officials remain cautious, and there has been no confirmation of any direct military escalation. But the story serves as another reminder that decades after the Cold War, Cuba still remains deeply connected to global strategic calculations and international security discussions. What do you think about the latest US military activity near Cuba? Is this routine surveillance, or could it signal rising geopolitical tension in the Caribbean once again? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this report, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more global updates here on Capital Beacon US. I'm Elina, and I'll see you in the next report.